speaking of the Hawk Tuah girl, let's get right into it. So the girl from the Hawk Tuah video then created the Hawk Tuah podcast, and then she got a bunch of people to follow her on social media. She created a brand, and then she robbed her audience blind this past week with this fraudulent-looking crypto
Yes,
launch,
Rob,
correct?
you stole my intro, but that's exactly right. So essentially, Haliey Welch, for anyone who doesn't know her, she went mega viral at the start of the year for talking about giving a BJ. Let's just be frank. That's exactly what it is. That's why she got famous. And she capitalized off all of that fame and hype and ended up creating her own show called Tuah, which is kind of a clever name. But she had some very interesting guests on, one of which was actually Mark Cuban, like you mentioned. And this was some very interesting foreshadowing for what was to come. So we can actually skip this one, actually, Nat. If we can just go straight to this clip of Mark Cuban.
Do you do anything with crypto?
Yeah, I do a lot with crypto, actually. I've got a shit ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh, yeah. If I launch a meme coin, can I give you some tokens?
Yeah, I'll give you my wallet. I'll give you my wallet.
Okay.
So there we go. Interesting foreshadowing. So this was before she went out and created her coin. She then created the Hawk coin, which is a meme coin that is more than likely going to send her to prison. And that's essentially what this entire segment is about.
Really? So, like, there's actual legal consequences that this woman can suffer from this whole disastrous launch?
Absolutely. Yes. Maybe not like a couple of years ago when crypto was like the wild, wild west, when a new industry comes out and it gets massive traction. It's really hard to regulate it initially. But we've seen a lot of clapback over the last couple of years for different influencers promoting pump and dump coins, where essentially the only idea behind the coin, there's no real utility or function behind it. Unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, all these other coins, they create this meme coin specifically with the purpose of just being able to make some fast cash.
So you're saying the woman who got famous for describing how to give a blowjob then went on to screw her supporters in a massive pump and dump. I love all of these puns.
So it sounds like
the holy trilogy right
there.
The
pump and dump is what got her famous, and now the pump and dump is going to get her incarcerated.
I would attenuate it, Amy. I don't think she's actually going to go to jail for this. I'll tell you what I think afterwards, but just to highlight before I forget, Mark Cuban is always on the wrong side of everything, but he's the greatest. He's the greatest inspiration to idiots out there. You can be dumb as a bag of rocks and still somehow become a billionaire. But, you know, whatever he says, bet on the opposite, and more likely than not, you'll make more.
Well, okay, hold on, quickly, before we move back on. There was a portion of time where Mark Cuban was a badass. When he was the Dallas Mavericks owner and he was the one that was getting fined for games and he was being defiant and saying that the rules of the NBA didn't make sense and he'd call out officials, you're like, oh, I like that guy. And then he did a 180 flip where he all of a sudden became like this cuck that goes on the blowjob.
It's like a humiliation ritual almost. Like he must have done some sick, twisted shit where they're making him go through all this, because I don't think these are his choices. Like, you think he was really believing the things that he said about Trump and Kamala?
About Kamala, it's one thing to shit on Trump, fine. To praise Kamala, you have to have been frontal lobotomized already. You know, he's got a Diddy connection, but apparently it's not, you know, particularly in depth where Diddy was designing their outfits back in the day.
I disagree with you because you're attributing it to him being dumb, but I think it's actual malice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Shark Tank back in the day. He was
true.
a very bad-ass shark
bad.
that would call people out on shady business practices. Like, he would not take on anybody's business or make the investment unless all of the T's and I's were crossed and dotted.
And now he's on the podcast with the girl advising her on fraudulent crypto.
Well,
He's
he
not
didn't really
advising her, but
advise
he's
her.
saying, yes, send me your meme coins, knowing probably full well that this is going to be a pump and dump that's going to cost a lot of people to lose a lot of money. So
go back to your point. I'm sorry. So we got off tangent on Mark Cuban. Back to your point.
So we're going to play a quick video now. This is the day that the coin actually launched. This is her creating hype on social media when the coin went live.
Can we, before playing it, just let that screen...
Can you just show the screen before
just show the screen without pressing it?
Again, what made her famous? Go ahead.
Sorry, childish of me.
Today's launch day. Woot woot. My Hawk meme coin is live.
All right.
Wow.
So whenever any meme coin launches, there's always a lot of hype built around it on social media. Her and all of her loyal followers were posting about it. And it actually was very successful initially. Do you have a question?
I do. Brandon.
Yeah.
What is a meme coin? Could you break it down and explain
so-
in like the simplest
Yeah.
one sentence what an actual meme coin is for people that don't understand crypto, like myself?
Yeah, so you know how there's an exchange, like you could go on Coinbase, buy crypto, right?
Yes.
So there's websites where you could just make a coin. You could name it, put it on a coin exchange like Coinbase, and then you could sell it.
To your fans, which is exactly what she did. So this is something that if I was a follower of her, she announces this, she puts the link on Twitter, I can actually go and buy cryptocurrency that she created. I'm owning a portion of her crypto that she created.
You
correct?
technically need to convert it. So the way that it works is you would purchase like Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, USDT, whatever network her meme coin exists on. You would purchase that coin first, and then you would go to some shady website, some shady coin exchange website, and you would facilitate an exchange. So you would switch over your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, or your USDT Ripple for the meme coin.
The creator has to do that?
This is how people purchase it. You
Right,
can't just
right.
go to an exchange to purchase.
Okay, I remember this because
Yeah.
I had MetaMask and Zerion.
Yes, that's what you use to switch.
Are
them.
those the shady ones?
No.
Oh,
These,
okay.
So, but here's the thing. Even coins that have utility start off on those janky platforms. Like that's how they first get a market cap and get people buying into them. That's how they really build out their dev team. And then when it provides enough value and utility and sticks around for long enough, then it gets moved over to legitimate exchanges where people can buy, Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Like
all of these other.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, exactly. Dogecoin started as a meme coin.
Yeah.
Now you can buy it directly off all of these exchanges. Back in the day, you had to go through these exchanges to be able, these shady websites to be able to purchase it.
They started a Peanut the Squirrel coin, and it went up like 10,000% after Peanut the Squirrel died.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I think mine, because I was looking into this just to try to understand it myself, is that the meme coin is basically a digital currency with no underlying financial structure or
Utility.
Mm-hmm. And so it's basically like art. You can also consider it digital art, like you're buying something to support somebody that you like. And even with Dogecoin, although it's achieved some sort of legitimacy, there's no underlying financial structure to it that makes it worth anything, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum.
So there's no actual value to the coin itself except for the people that are putting the money into
Based-
the
And then
coin
they get to
own
make
a
some money.
portion of
and
it.
you can.
It's like a pyramid scheme. It's like the exchange of money
it.
from pocket
Yeah,
to
like
pocket
the US
without a
dollar.
tangible product or commodity, which is the actual definition of a pyramid scheme.
Okay, all right, go back. Thank you. All right,
All right.
thank you for explaining because there
You're
are some
most
people
welcome.
out there that don't know crypto.
And and
Idiots.
you can do your due diligence on these. Like any coin, any crypto project has something called a white paper, and you can find a white paper for Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these various coins. If there isn't a legitimate white paper breaking down why it does provide value and utility, it's a meme coin. And is investing in a meme coin always a bad thing? I mean, if you have risk capital available, if you're a savvy investor, if you ride the hype but don't believe the hype, then you can make a lot of money on meme coins. But yeah, definitely she went into this with some shady intentions just to rip people off. And we can see that when the coin launched, it actually shot up 900%.
Wow.
And went up to a 500 million market cap. This is just within 1 hour of the crypto coin launch.
So that means that
gonna go to
$500
jail.
million was invested by people into this coin.
in circulation, yes.
She pulled that
That's
out.
half a bill. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
you'll get.
She's going to go to jail.
Yeah, so we can pull up this chart now so you guys can actually see here what this looks like in crypto terms. So it launched, you can see where it launched.
the pump.
Yep, the pump, it went up, and then
dump.
look at that drop. The red bars are people selling off. Now, when we say people, we're not talking about the retail investors who bought into it hoping to make money. The people who sold off were her and her development team and all of the people who were in on this scheme,
Just to
essentially.
qualify so that there's no potential misunderstanding. I don't think she sold off hers because I think hers had a 1-year lock. But it was what
All of
they
it?
call the team. I think so. It was the team, and we'll put it in quotes because I think the team are the ones who are the shady ones that are going to go to jail. Whether or not she's part of the team to be determined. But the people selling, I think, were the insiders, not her, because I don't think she was able to sell hers for a period of a year.
Correct.
So
There are certain things that meme coins and crypto projects in general put in place to be able to ensure that these types of things don't happen. So, for example, they create lock periods where you're not able to sell your coins. However, her portion that was locked up was not enough to generate this massive dip that we saw on the chart. So the coins that she has that she can't touch really aren't going to move price very much. It was all of the other coins that got distributed to her team and then the retail investors that bought up the coins, right? The other thing that they do to prevent people from selling off is they put fees on the cryptocurrency. So when you want to sell, they tax it with these massive 15, 20%. Sometimes I've even seen up to 40% fees that they have on these coins to disincentivize you from selling off and to actually hold your position. So they put all of these various things in place, but as we can see, it shot off the earth. It absolutely plummeted, and there were a lot of people who were hurt by this, a lot of retail investors. We can pull up this next slide. Now, I wasn't sure if this one was
It can't be. It cannot be real.
or not. I wasn't sure. It may very well not be, but either way, it's
I hope. I hope it's real. This might take on this whole business. The term rug pull was coined in 2022. Everyone know what a rug pull is. Everyone saw this coming. I think this is a victimless crime. She should not go to jail. I think all the idiots that bought into it, those guys should be broke and go to jail.
Yeah.
Because like we saw this coming from a mile.
It was her team. And so we're going to get into that. But still, she is complicit in this because she was the face of it. She was the
Complicit
name.
in
She
what?
provided the marketing push.
Capitalizing on idiots?
Well, maybe it was.
That's not a crime. This is America, lady.
Well, it's
Well, there's a reason why penny stocks are regulated, though.
No, but the OTC stuff is not, and you get these pump and dumps all the time in OTC stocks. The bottom line is just going to be her knowledge of. I think that she was look. We don't understand how Bitcoin works. Not to be demeaning to Tuah understanding of Bitcoin or digital currency. I doubt she understood what the hell was going on. She's the face. They say it's gonna be awesome. Your fans are gonna love it. Here's $125,000 up front. You don't get to sell your shares for a year. You're totally clean. And then they absolutely pump and dump her. I think she's the victim of this and not the perpetrator of it. But
that could be true, but still, I think that you do have an onus of responsibility, especially when you have a huge fan base, when people are putting their money in, and if it's something that breaches the Howey Test, which we'll talk about the Howey Test in a minute, then it is something that you should be able to be held liable if you're the one who's pushing it.
Brandon,
What?
Come on. You saw the promotional video. It was like, woohoo!
Hot Tuah.
Okay,
It's gonna
wait.
be lit.
Okay,
and then someone puts their heart and cash into this.
I found-
Come on,
screw you in
it's
real life,
like-
but I can screw you online.
I-
I've been approached multiple times for Bitcoin, digital currency stuff, and I just say I always say no to that which I don't understand. Other people don't necessarily even understand what they don't understand. Until I'm waiting. I'm not
People don't
white
know what they
knighting
don't
for her.
know.
I'm not white knighting for her. I think she's a victim of this because I don't think she had the slightest clue. I listened to her team talking on those spaces.
We're gonna pull
They
that up.
sound like the mother effers in all of this.
Yeah, she barely says anything. We're going to pull that up in a second. I did find a legitimate screenshot. I think this one is not a I don't think they're memeing here. So I'll just read this really quick. They added Haliey on X and said, my $35,000 that I purchased of Hawk coin is now $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. I'm a huge fan of Tuah, but you took my life savings. I purchased your coin Hawk that you were so excited about with my life savings and my children's college education fund.
Oh, my
it's
God.
a meme. It's a meme.
That's fake.
You didn't mention you were going to buy 97% of the supply, which she did, and then sell it almost immediately to make a large profit. Had I had that information, I wouldn't have purchased your coin. Who could I contact for a refund? My crypto representative.
It's a
and
meme.
they added
It's
that will be in
It's
touch.
called
It's a
foresight.
meme. That one
there's-
throwing in the college
There's so
education.
many memes that it's hard to find the people who are legitimately like making like grievances, but they're certainly out there. People lost a lot of money in
Would
this
you
thing.
want to publicly be like, oh, I got duped by the blowjob guy?
No, not just that. For that amount of money, you got 35,000 and you put it in Tuah and not Bitcoin. Not that I know anything about either. No, I think the quantum is too much. They're milking the angles to make it parody, but no, obviously people lost money.
Yeah.
I just don't think anyone lost if they lost their life savings and their kids' tuition.
They
People-
deserve
They
it.
saved that money in the first place. They're
Guys,
that dumb.
people
Yeah.
are dumb. So there was a period of time where I used to be involved in not so much crypto, but Forex trading. That was my life for several years. I helped develop EA bots.
trading?
Forex.
Trading, foreign exchange.
I thought you said forks trading, and I was like,
Like
there's
forks?
an industry where you trade. But I got this spoon. You want
I
this
have
fork?
a special 6-pronged fork that I will
Yeah, I
trade
didn't know what
you
you meant.
for.
Well, okay,
No, no,
what
no.
is it?
So Forex trading, it's currency. So trading like US dollar against the Australian dollar, for example, you can make a profit. So I had a brand, not a big one, but a brand built on Forex trading. And what a lot of people started to do is they started to make duplicate fake accounts of me. And then they would reach out to people like, hey, Dia, how's it going? They always say Dia. It's always so obvious that the scammers, the language that they use. Hey, Dia, how's it going? How's your trades going? And people think they're legitimately talking to me. I kid you not, guys. I've had people then find my real account bawling, like voice messaging me, calling me religiously because they sent a large amount of money to my fake account that sent them a crypto wallet that they invested into because they said, hey, I'm a professional. You know me, Amy Dangerfield. I trade. I could double your money. I could triple your money. And there's literally people who use my name to rip people off. There's Reddit groups about me being a scammer. Literally. From these fake accounts of people.
Let me just go right to the internet now.
It is freaking insane. But speaking of CoffeeZilla and people who call out these scams, let's go ahead and play a clip from a X space that Hawk Tuah and her development group were hosting. CoffeeZilla, for anyone who doesn't know, he has a brand that's built around exposing different scams in various different industries. So he jumped on the X space. Let's hear what he had to say.
Happy to answer any
I have questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey, guys.
What CoffeeZilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
Who's making millions of dollars on fees from this rug pull?
That's not a scheme. That's the problem.
Who's making fees?
So we can keep this thing going for years. Okay, that's how do you think? There's so many expenses.
Who makes the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
First of all, the fees were there with Meteor Pools, and that goes to the creator, right?
Which is who? Who does that own? Who does that belong to?
That belongs to the project.
Who's the project? Who is the project?
Well, the project is over here, Haliey Welch, right? And
how much does Haliey Welch own?
This is Haliey Welch's project.
So who made the money? You haven't answered the question. Who made the money? How much did Haliey Welch make of that million, 1.8 million?
It's a foundation that is running this project.
How much does she own of it?
It's a foundation. She owns zero of the foundation.
So y'all made the money?
No, I don't own the foundation either. A foundation.
Brother, who profited? Over $1 million was just made.
A foundation that pays people out. And by the way,
A foundation? So they made it a not-for-profit? By the way, it wasn't in this particular clip. They incorporated in the Cayman Islands. The guy's like, we have 18 employees, and we incorporated the Cayman Islands. You think that's free? Like, but that he said she has nothing to do with the foundation.
Not for the token price itself.
I'm telling you, she is. The more of this, no, not this guy, but he looks like Jeremy Piven, CoffeeZilla.
Cayman Islands is like literally has barely any regulations.
Yeah.
Like you create an offshore bank account in the Cayman Islands when you want to do shady shit, typically speaking. So the fact that she was bragging about that is really, really telling. Now, there's something called that.
I just saw the video here. That looks funny.
Oh yeah, this is funny. Let's actually pull up this meme for a quick second. This is hilarious. So, viral video about throating it is the then pipeline, the domino effect of federal prison. Now, this is why she could potentially face legal repercussions for this. There is something called the Howey Test. Now, the Howey Test involves 4 different components, and if these 4 components are fulfilled, then what you have is a legitimate security, and based on what has occurred here, it could actually be punishable by law. So the 4 prongs of the Howey Test are: number 1, an investment of money. So the individual or entity invests
Show that
money.
meme again. Did the bottom say viral video about throating it?
Yeah. You guys weren't listening when I brought it up.
I mean, I've been looking at that thing.
I was listening to you. I didn't read that. And then I looked upside down. Throating it. Okay.
Well, oddly enough, the end is the beginning again.
Go ahead, Amy.
All right,
Sorry.
so investment of money. Number 2 is in a common enterprise. So the investment is pooled with others, and the investor's fortunes are tied to the success or failure of the enterprise. So far, 2 for 2. Number 3, with the expectation of profits. The investor anticipates profits or returns from the investment. And then number 4, derived from the efforts of others. The profits primarily result from the efforts of a promoter or a third party, not the investor's own actions. So all 4 elements of this, from my rudimentary understanding, are fulfilled. Therefore, she could be held criminally liable for this. And there's word that there is already a class action suit which has been formed against her. A lot of things have already been filed to the FTC, but she clearly doesn't care. She didn't lose a wink of sleep. We're going to play the final asset that I have here, where she signed off from that Twitter space that we were just talking about. And let's go ahead and pull that up, how she ended the night and clearly feels zero guilt. It's the one after this. There we go. Thank you.
For the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual like
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Well, hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
That's how it ended. That is how it ended after she just ripped people off millions of dollars. She ended by saying, guys, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. See y'all tomorrow.
She's been AWOL since that, by the way. I don't think she's posted since. Look, again, Amy, I can see everyone sees criminality in that. I hear like panic, like, what the F is going on? I'm going to bed. I'm calm. I think she is AWOL because she was told, obviously, not to speak by her attorneys. And I think she probably is working with investigators to get to the real fraudsters and all of this. That's my assessment.
So you believe there will be a punishment, but it won't be dealt towards Haliey. It'll be dealt towards the people that were coordinating
I bet
scheme.
there'll be a criminal investigation. I bet she's going to be a subject of it, but I think she's going to, if she's a player, going to probably turn an asset for the investigation, civilly guaranteed lawsuit, and she'll have to allege that I didn't know, and they're going to say, well, you put your name behind this, you induced me into buying it, what due diligence did you do? And she'll say none at all, and then they'll hold her civilly liable for something.
I can't wait for that mugshot. I'm sorry.
I agree with Viva. I don't think she's going to end up facing any type of jail time. What it looks like, maybe she goes, cooperating witness against the investors. But she's doing the typical what people do in a crisis mode. What do? You shut down. In this day and age where the news cycle moves so quickly, the best thing that you can do when you're in crisis mode is shut down the social media. Don't be seen. Don't be heard. You release an apology a few weeks from now when the outrage has died down. Hey, sorry about that. I didn't really do my due diligence. But by the way, joining me on the next Hawk to a podcast, I got Shannon Sharp. And then you just go right back to your life and you keep moving on. Yeah. That's what happens in this day and age where this news cycle. Remember when Martha Stewart went to jail for insider trading? Yes. That was the biggest news story of like the 2000s. A celebrity going to jail? Like the media could not move off of that. Nothing's going to come of this for this
here's the thing. The FTC don't care about, what's the word? Like ignorance. Like that's not an excuse to the FTC. They don't care if you are unaware of the fact that your actions were either illegal or frowned upon, or even if it was guided by somebody else. They care if you're complicit. It's very, very black and white when it comes to the FTC. Maybe she didn't know, but I don't think the FTC is going to care.
You think it's more FTC than SEC? I know the SEC isn't really totally involved yet. They're trying to be, but you think FTC is going to be the one that's bringing action or not bringing action yet?
FTC, I think that's what I had from my research. Maybe I'm misspeaking though.
No, I think the
it's
issue
a little bit of a gray area right now because crypto is really unregulated. So I don't even know if it's definitely a crime. I mean, it's definitely has the potential for a crime. But
all right, that's how you
it's
fix
still
it.
kind of like the Wild West.
No, you're gonna have civil criminal, but I don't know that the FTC is going to get involved because I'm not sure that they recognize crypto as currency or as stock for the purposes of the SEC jurisdiction. But no, there's criminal fraud at the basic level is fraudulent misrepresentations. But civilly, there's going to be lawsuits.
This is how to fix it. He did a segment on what was her name? Something Rain.
Sophie Rain.
Sophie Rain.
Not that
she should launch a coin now.
All right, no, she should have done what she understands. She should have launched an OnlyFans account that would have been really popular. She got transferred $5 million in one go. All right, so she launches her OnlyFans account. Promises a Hawk Tuah video. Everyone pours money in, pays everyone back, and she's back to being a millionaire. Easy.
Yeah, but she got surrounded by wolves, obviously, who were super smart and knew how this world works and convinced her to do it.
I think she's a
Who's worse, though, the wolves or the pornographers that convinced her to set up the OnlyFans account like Humberto? Who's the worst person there?
They're both wolves who are super sharp in just different industries. Like, some know how to do it in finance, some know how to do it in the OnlyFans thing. But, I mean, I guess the OnlyFans thing's a little grosser.
Would anybody pay to see Haliey Welch's
spit on the thing?
Dude, so many people would. Like, hopefully nobody that I know, because...
I gotta be honest, no offense to her. She's a very attractive girl, but there's girls that I mean, we live in South Florida. There's girls that I pass in Publix where I'm like, if she has an OnlyFans, I would subscribe. So, no offense to the Hawk Tuah girl, but she just doesn't do it for me.
I thought you liked trailer trash.
I do, but dark... featured trailer trash. I don't like blonde hair.
You're thinking the wrong way.
It's just the lore. It's the spit on that thing. They
people
want to see
will
if she's a real throat goat.
People will join for the they will join for the comedy. Imagine she did the hug tour and then went to the deed. Like, it's priceless. Priceless.
By the way, my wife's not trailer trash. I want to make that she watches this show.
Oh,
When I
she
say that,
watches Love
yeah. When I say that I have a thing for hot, pregnant trailer trash chicks, it's not you.
Pregnant was just added in today.
Yeah,
you didn't say that
Rob,
last
I've
time.
never met another man who finds pregnant women to be.
Oh, okay. So quickly, and we'll move on to yours. So I was on a cruise one time, and I saw a very attractive girl. She was very thin, but she was very pregnant, and she had like tattoos and dark hair. And I was like, wow, that's a really weird look, but it really turns me on. Oh my god, do I have a thing for pregnant chicks?
my God.
It's only been that one. I haven't been going like I don't go around and go, hey, can I touch your bump? Like I'm not like some kind of weirdo. But I saw it one time on a cruise. She was wearing a bikini, and I was like, well, that's very attractive. But other than that, honey, I'm not into trailer trash, and you're not trailer trash.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.